The British social realism films I like is Kidulthood and Adulthood.
Kidulthood and Adulthood.
Kidulthood, Adulthood, Four Lions.
I like Four Lions and Another Hood.
Watched Four Lions and Attached Rock. I think they were quite good.
Like the films that like explore things that are actually happening in the real world, so like something that you can relate to.
For example?
I don't know, like something like Fish Tank or Four Lions or This Is England.
Kidulthood, Adulthood, Another Hood, This Is England.
Kidulthood, bro, I play Call of Duty. Attack the Block, and Adulthood.
Another Hood, Kidulthood, Adulthood, 4321.
Green Street, This Is England.
That drew me to this is how the youth, deal with certain situations and how they grow up around this violence and stuff.
That they're right round the corner.
I think because they're mainly like based on gangs and you see like a lot of violence and stuff, so it's like an interesting storyline.
The comedy spoof factor.
The fact that they address real issues such as violence, drugs, culture, etc. But it's a bit dramatic.
How true it is, like how you can relate to it.
I think This Is England is funny. Like, it takes racism and violence to a whole extreme. I just think it's funny. And Another Hood, Kidulthood and things like that is like things that we can relate to, like what's going on.
It was fun to watch, and I just like the violence.
I thought it was quite funny. Like, it's got that violent sense to it, but it's like, quite funny as well. And that I feel like I can relate to it, sort of thing, because it's sort of modern, like it's associated with like our sort of age groups and stuff. So it gets you really involved in it. So
Good storyline. It's British, so it appeals to me, and I like the violence.
An issue I'd like to see portrayed more in these movies would be drug abuse and how viewers can learn from how to not go about it or how to go about getting off drugs.
Drug use, violence.
So, like, is that the issues that you like to be seen in a film, like violence?
Yeah, I think because they're easy to show, it's like you can sort of relate to it as well because it happens a lot like around this area.
Yeah.
Violence, drugs, sex.
Why would you like to see them?
Because it just portrays like the real thing that actually happens in the world.
Yeah.
And I find it really interesting.
I would prefer things such as bullying, because I think that's like a really big issue, especially like in modern day London.
The things that I would like to be shown more, maybe something like racism or sexism or
I think it's not really an issue, but I think they should relate films to more how it is for people growing up now, like how it's hard to find jobs.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
More sex.
Why?
Like sex.
Yes, I do like your idea because it does show somebody going through a hard phase and it's about how they deal with that.
Oh yeah, that just happens in the news and it like relates to what happens in this family.
I think it's good. Like I heard another one similar to that, but I think they made it more like a horror film. But I think if you keep to like the conventions of a British social realism film, it'd be good.
I find that really interesting. I would actually watch that film.
Yeah, I think it is definitely a good idea because it would sort of portray like things that we have going on today, which is something that a lot of young people can relate to.
I don't think it's as realistic because I don't really see a picture of her killing him at the end. But otherwise, it sounds pretty good.
That's so dramatic. Yeah, that sounds like a laugh.
Yeah, your idea is actually quite good.
What do you think about it?
It's a good idea.
Can you elaborate, please?
Right, it's a good idea because it's just fun and interesting to watch. I'd like to know what happens next.
Like, would you relate to it?
Yeah, I can relate to it.
Okay. If you
So,
die,
I like violence.
I told you so.
I think it's quite good, it's a really good idea because sometimes it's actually happening in some other schools that it's something that is realistic, is that actually going on, sort of thing. So I think it'll be quite good to sort of send a message out so that people take notice of it.
I think it's too plain and it all seems to happen too quickly and unrealistically.
The characters I expect in the BSR are somebody going through a rough patch, someone in poverty and in a bad area, and how they overcome all of that.
A mother who like abuses her child.
Ask them what that does our character relate to what you would expect?
Yeah. I don't really know. Just a character, innit?
Yeah, but what do you think they're aggressive?
Yeah, obviously, because she's killing a teacher. She's aggressive.
Yeah, personality-wise, I mean, you always have that bubbly character, but at the same time, I think you would have people that don't take things as seriously, or you'll have the group that create peer pressure and things like that.
Probably, yeah, just because, like, it's something that would probably happen in this area, just because it's dodgy and stuff.
Yeah, it definitely would, because that's what most films, independent films, are about.
Yeah.
Girls, young girls. I don't know really.
We'll definitely the violence part. Maybe. Yeah.
I would probably see aggressive people, like also see people living in poverty sort of thing, like council estate and stuff like that. Yeah, like people who like joke around with things as well, like don't take life seriously.
Do you think my characters meet that criteria?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
A terrified young girl and a really old, scary man teacher.
What characters do you expect overall in other films that are like that?
Yeah, other films like that, I'd expect the same characters that I just described, and a really friendly person who tries to help.
Okay, thanks.